want my end. Banned throughout the verse. The Apocalypse News Network is lit. Pushing through the static, cracking corporate codes. Blasting out the signal down the deep space roads. From the White Lotus towers to the rings below. Lock your frequencies tight and let the rhythm roll.
Welcome to ANN. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Fossil Fuel Cola. Enjoy our broadcast of The Legend of the Five.
Shattered, the sky is a shroud. Kaelin Stoneheart stands heavy and proud. 26 winters of survival and grit, formed in the ashes where the old world split. Born amidst the ruins of a pre-fall domain, he came of age walking through the cold acid rain, wielding runic iron heavy, sharp and old, guided by a map of technology told. Lands echo with a primitive roar. The tech scavenging raiders are knocking the door, but Kaelin stands firm with his boots in the rubble, an elite protector when the enclave see trouble. He has 90 sword mastery, 70 axe skill, a vanguard defender with a mountain-sized will, forging a path to a secure future layout, clearing the marauders and the corporate scout. He's the Stoneheart defender, the protector of space, a mountain-born giant for a ruined race, with his heavy broad axe and his fur-lined plate. When Kaelin marches, he is sealing your fate. Yeah, the hero is locking the High Canyon gate. If you cross the state line, you're inviting your fate. A hero for a broken world, standing in the frost, reclaiming the heritage that the old world lost. No weapons can pierce through his tactical shield. He makes the savage barbarian factions yield. With leather and chainmail strapped to his chest, he tracks through the blizzards on a solitary quest, keeping the innocent families safe from the harm with the cold, brutal power of his warrior arm. He doesn't want glory, he doesn't want praise, just a secure frontier in these post-war days. He'll dismantle a tracking squad out on the peak and stand as a wall for the fragile and weak. If you see a silhouette against the gray sky, you know that the law of the mountain is nigh. So check your dial numbers and double your guard. The shield of the enclaves hits heavy and hard. He's the Stoneheart defender, the protector of space, a mountain-born giant for a ruined race, with his heavy broad axe and his fur-lined plate. When Kaelin marches, he is sealing your fate. Yeah, the hero is locking the High Canyon gate. If you cross the state line, you're inviting your fate. Starting to grow, a lone titan of iron, standing deep in the snow. Lock down your dashboard and unsettle your mind. The legend of Stoneheart leaves the raiders behind.
A master engineer is conquering the pain. Careless Sunsear is marching up the track. A sun-forged marauder packing heat on her back. Age 28 with a protective eye, forging order from the scorched earth underneath the sky. With a unique lion-hearted pole drawn on her frame, she leads by a fierce example to validate her name. The raider crews are closing in a circle of steel, thinking they have found an easy midday meal. But her sun worshiper body all begins to ignite, channeling the intense solar heat for the fight. She pulls out her main weapon, heavy and broad, the industrial power core Cinder-Cleaver rod. The multi-blazing comb blades overheat the air, inflicting cauterizing wounds on the enemies there. See the Sunsear burning with a searing swing blast. Her sun-kissed rage is built to outlast. The Cinder-Cleaver solar axe is melting the stone, the baddest thermal marauder that the mountain has known. Don't you try to cross her path, don't you try to contend, or her solar tech armor will bring your road to an end. She's got a secondary weapon resting on her hip, an old world steel glazed sword that never will slip. Honed and versatile, quick for the stride, strap bound, scabbard on the northern divide. With rugged terrain boost, stepping through the frost, reclaiming the technology the old world lost. Thermal adaptation keeping her secure, ensuring her legacy will always endure. See the Sunsear burning with a searing swing blast. Her sun-kissed rage is built to outlast. The Cinder-Cleaver solar axe is melting the stone, the baddest thermal marauder that the mountain has known. Don't you try to cross her path, don't you try to contend, or her solar tech armor will bring your road to an end. The thermal heat cools as the mountain wind sigh. The ashen scavenger leaves them all out to dry. Keep your head down low when the generators whine, and respect Kayla Sunsear on the Colorado line. flying past the timberline. Scavenger vanguard on a deadly design. Age 27 from the rusty sand. An engineer in combat and ruling the land. Reinforced leather in a Kevlar hull chest, with integrated pneumatic brazers on a quest. The marauder clans are closing in a circle of steel, thinking they have found an easy midday meal, but they don't see the orange thermal lights start to spark deep inside her harness where the hollow gets dark. She reaches to the back where the maglock's so tight, pulls that Cinder-Fang to conquer the night. The plasma edge coil and the core ignite, clean the baddest tech skill and fighter that you've ever seen. See Ryla Voss swinging Cinder-Fang high, a blazing plasma axe cutting up the night sky. She draws the Rust Reaver twins right from her back. Two fusion-powered great swords locked for attack. Don't you try to cross her path, don't you try to contend, or the scavenger vanguard will bring your road to an end. She wanders the waste through the frost and the brine, seeking the legendary terraforming engine design, driven by survival and an insatiable life, selling all her skills to the highest bidder buy. Got a utility belt with the cryoline thread and biochem stim packs, keeping her from the dead. A thigh punched Omni tool resting on her seat, 99 constitution making her complete. See Ryla Voss swinging Cinder-Fang high, a blazing plasma axe cutting up the night sky. She draws the Rust Reaver twins right from her back. Two fusion-powered great swords locked for intact. Don't you try to cross the path, don't you try to contend, or the scavenger vanguard will bring your road to an end. The orange light fades as the storm begins to blow. Another raider camp left in a smoldering glow. Watch for the twin great swords crossing the line, and respect Ryla Voss on the Colorado design.
The scrap lords of iron desert breed, learning to scavenge for the primitive need, extracting the power cores out of the dead, with a mountain of fury inside of his head. The raider clans hit us with fire and spite, wiping his family straight out of the night, left him with scars and a reservoir deep of a cold-blooded anger that never will sleep. The siege of Obsidian Spire was grim. The automated guardian was tearing the limb. A massive laser turret locking the gates, turning the scavenger vanguard to bait. But Harek stood tall with a blade in his hand, ready to make a definitive stand. He jury-rigged power power straight into his sleeve. A pulse of raw energy, hard to believe. He's Harek, the breaker, the shield of the line, and our Cleaver, swinging on a plasma design with a heavy energy pistol on his leather-clad hip and a scavenger bulwark that'll never give slip. Yeah, the three heroes rule where the scrap metal bleeds, the ultimate protectors of the Enclave needs. He crossed the front lines through the laser beam smoke, absorbing the plasma until the shield broke. He slammed his cybernetic bracer right into the core, overloading the spire and ending the war. They call him the Vanguard, they call him the boss, the stoic defender named Harek Voss. He took down the tower, he shattered the gate, rewriting the balance of the wasteland fate. Now he wanders the deep away, silent and cold, a legendary warrior fiercely controlled, pragmatic and practical, deeply alert, leaving the trail of dead, cruising the dirt. If you are an Enclave survivor in need, he's the ironclad savior that's going to lead. But if you're a corporate raider on prowl, you'll die in the canyon where the scrap hounds howl. He's Harek, the breaker, the shield of the line, and our Cleaver, swinging on a plasma design with a heavy energy pistol on his leather-clad hip and a scavenger bulwark that'll never give slip. Yeah, the three heroes rule where the scrap metal bleeds, the ultimate protectors of the Enclave needs. The automated sirens are fading to gray. The breaker is marching down the highway decay. Keep your shield emitters locked, keep your rifle on hand, and respect the heavy vanguard of the Colorado land. Gather round the barrel fire, open up a jar. Let's sing about the warrior who fell from a star down in the sun-scorched canyon where the slaughter was deep. The Vanguard faction was caught fast asleep, ambushed and broken, left out to decay. A mortal man dying in the ash and the clay. He lost his whole left arm to a razor blade strike, left for the scrap hounds in the dead zone night. Sand, he opened his eyes in a whole different land. A silver metallic room, blinding and bright, floating way up in the orbital night. Strange alien figures were crowded around, fixing the warrior they took from the ground, replacing his bone with a sky-forged design, fusing the
flesh with a cybercore line. He's the sky-gifted hero, the Sunderer of space, a symbol of power for a broken down race. With his longbow and arrows and his sky-hardened plate, when Ryker Thorne marches, he is sealing your fate. Yeah, the three heroes rule where the radiation flies, with the power of lightning in a dead man's eyes. He walked out the wilderness, clearing the track with a brand new mechanical arm on his back. He towed the settlements down on the plain. The sky gods had blessed him for conquering pain. They gifted him mine for his deeds on the earth, a holy reward for his vanguard worth. And nobody questions the words from his mouth, because he's the baddest machine in the South. It pulses with ether pulse energy bright, sky-forged alloy cutting through the dark night. The poets sing verses of his glorious face, while the outlaws are running to find a hiding place. He gets the medals, the songs and the toast, the greatest defender on the mountain peak coast. While poor little outlaws take the blame and the fall, the sky-gifted war leader stands over all. He's the sky-gifted hero, the Sunderer of space, a symbol of power for a broken down race. With his longbow and arrows and his sky-hardened plate, when Ryker Thorne marches, he is sealing your fate. Yeah, the three heroes rule where the radiation flies, with the power of lightning in a dead man's eyes. So raise up your glasses of that off-world brew and toast to the vanguard that's protecting our crew. He carries the gift from the stars up above, a mechanical fist in a leather-clad glove. Ace dropped the signal to silent.
And storm, born before the world was torn, before the sky burned red with fire, before the fall of church and spire. You rode the thermals, cold and free, the last true lord of what will be. Bow your head when the shadow falls, answer when the mountain calls. The sky has eyes, the sky has claws, we live and die by ancient laws. Don't run from the dark above, the mountain takes the ones it loves. Stand tall beneath those ancient wings and bow before the Mountain King. They say he nests above the snow, where no living man can go, where the air is thin as prayer and bones of fools bleach white up there. He circles once for those who stray, circles twice to mark his prey, circles thrice at break of dawn to bless the strong before they're gone. Old man Cade came down the ridge, half his mind left on the bridge. Said the shadow swallowed the sun, said his legs just wouldn't run. Said he heard the thunder crack, felt the wind push on his back. Looked up once into those eyes and left his fear up in the skies. The weak man runs, the fool man hides, the strong man stands and opens wide his arms. Let the king decide, let the king decide. Ryker stood upon the ridge, lost his arm on the broken bridge, bled out slow on frozen ground, didn't make a single sound. Sky gods came on wings of steel, took him somewhere he could heal, gave him iron, gave him soul, sent him back to make us whole. Bow your head when the shadow falls, answer when the mountain calls. The sky has eyes, the sky has claws, we live and die by ancient laws. Don't run from the dark above, the mountain takes the ones it loves. Stand tall beneath those ancient wings and bow before the Mountain King. High above the broken peaks, where the cold wind never sleeps, flies the king, flies the king, flies the king, flies the king.
This is ANN. 3 issues, 1 universe. Get Vexed is available now. Don't say we didn't warn you.